Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I want to appreciate those of us that find time to lay our hands on the challenges posted today, both morning and afternoon. So now I want to provide solution to those challenges. Without wasting our time, let's start with the question 1, which is a differential equation or differentiation and integration. It says if dy dx is equal to 2x minus 3 and y is equal to 3 when x is equal to 0, we have to find y in terms of x, that is, express y in terms of x. Invariably, they are testing integration and at the same time change of subject there. Now, the first process is to integrate. That is the first process. Now, so we introduce integration sign, so which means that integral of dy is equal to integral of 2x minus 3 dx. So integral of dy will give us y, and integral of 2x minus 3 will give us s squared minus 3x plus c. So x squared minus 3x plus c. So don't forget that constant must be introduced when it comes to integration, as we know that integration is the antiderivative. So it's antiderivative. So now, having get that now, we've gotten our y to be x squared minus 3x plus c now. So we're given the initial condition, which is y is equal to 3 and x is equal to 0. So we have to substitute those initial conditions into the equation y is equal to x squared minus 3x plus c to get the value of c. So to get the value of c, having done that now, our c is equal to 3 when you substitute for x and y. Yes, so our c is equal to 3. Now, to finalize it, you now substitute c into the equation you got, that is y is equal to x squared minus 3x plus c. So it will turn, since c is equal to 3, then it will turn to y is equal to x squared minus 3x plus 3. That is the solution to equation 1. Kudos to those of you that get it right, and some miss it along the way. So I believe by now you might have known where you got it wrong. So let's go to the second one. That was the polynomial, zeros of polynomial. So we are to the equation says if x is that we are given a polynomial whose zeros are 2, minus 1, and 3. Yes, so the zeros of polynomials, they are minus 2, minus 1, and 3. So if that should be the case, then if x is a root of a, then x minus a is a factor. So in that case, given all the 3 zeros now, so we can say x is equal to 2, minus 2, x is equal to minus 1, and x is equal to 3. Then making it an equation now individually. So we have x plus 2 is equal to 0, x plus 1 is equal to 0, and x minus 3 is equal to 0. So multiplying the 3 factors together to give us the polynomial, we can do it one after the other. Let's first multiply the first two, that is x plus 2, x plus 1. Now expanding that give us x squared plus 3x plus 2. Then you now expand that one along with the third factor, which is x minus 3. You can see, so we use x minus 3 to open the bracket one after the other. So we now have x into x squared plus 3x plus 2, which is the first expansion we got. Then minus 3 into the first expansion, x squared plus 3x plus 2. So expanding that now will give us this x cubed plus 3x plus 2x minus 3x squared. So sorry, x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2x minus 3x squared minus 9x minus 6. So 3x squared will cancel out 3x squared. Then we now have x cubed plus 2x minus 9x minus 6. And finally, we have x cubed minus 7x minus 6. Because plus 2x minus 9x will give us a minus 7x. That is for number 2. Then number 3, yes, the final answer, that is p of x. The polynomials will give us x cubed minus 7x minus 6. Then let's go to the third one, which has to be coordinate geometry. We're given that if the line 3y is equal to 4x minus 1 and qy is equal to x plus 3 are parallel, we have to find the value of q. Now, in coordinate geometry, one thing you need to know is that once the lines are parallel, their gradients is the same. Once the lines are parallel, their gradient is the same. Only perpendicular that we have m1, m2 is equal to -1. For parallel lines, m1 is equal to m2. Even if they are more than 2 or they can be 4, m1 is equal to m2 is equal to m3 in that order. So you need to understand that fact before you can attempt this question. So now the line 1 now is 3x, 3y is equal to 4x minus 1. You have to arrange it in the format, in the general form of linear equation, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So y is equal to mx plus c, where m is the coefficient of x as the gradient and c is the intercept. So having to the first line to be arranged in that format, we have to divide through by 3, divide this term by 3. So we now have 4 over 3x minus 1 over 3. So it has obeyed the general form of linear equation, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So in that regard, our m is the coefficient of x, which is 3 over 4. So now we know that the gradient of the first line is 3 over 4, which means the gradient of the second line will also be 3 over 4. Now, the second line now is a qy is equal to x plus 3. So divide through by q to obey the format, the general form of linear equation, which is y is equal to mx plus c. So we now have 1 over qx plus 3 over q. Now, you now equate the gradients of the first line to the gradient of the second line. The gradient of the second line is 1 over q. Don't forget, q is what we are looking for. So if you equate them now, which means m1 is equal to m2, which means 4 over 3 is equal to 1 over q, and if we cross multiply and simplify, our q will be 3 all over 4. So the gradient, though the q is 3 over 4, don't forget it's same thing as the gradient of q is 3 over 4 anyway, but the gradient is 1 over what? 1 over q, which is 4 over 3 as well. So that is that. Then the last one, that's the perimeter of sector. Now, the perimeter of sector, the first thing is you have to understand the formula, or better still, you sketch out the diagram. Sketch out the sector. The sector subtend an angle of 100 degrees at the center of the circle and of radius 10.5 centimeter. So the length of now the perimeter of sector now is 2r plus l. That is r plus the length of an arc. So that gives us the length. You know the theta to be 100 degrees, so to say. R is 10.5 and pi is 22 over 7. So to the L now will now be 100 over 360 times 2 pi r. That's times 2 times 22 over 7 times 10.5. So, and having simplified that give us, L give us 18.33. 18.3. Don't forget the perimeter of sector is 2r plus L, and our r is 10.5 centimeters. So bringing the two together now, both L and 2r now, so we have our perimeter to be 39.33 centimeter. 39.33 centimeter. So that is that. So once again, I want to appreciate those that find their time to lay their hand on it. Please don't relent. Let's just continue. Tomorrow we continue with another set of challenge. And as we have agreed that for this week, we will concentrate on JAMB questions alone. So once again, thank you very much, and God bless you all.